This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Regina Lee.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to today's Good Neighbor Podcast here in South Charlotte. And today I would like to introduce Ernesto Reina. He is the owner and founder of Queen City Grill Cleaning. Welcome, Ernesto.
Hey, Regina. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to get to know you. I didn't even know this business, honestly, existed. So Why don't you start by telling us a bit about yourself, how you got to Charlotte, and then how did you start this business, come up with the idea?
Yeah, definitely. I hear it a lot. Most of my customers call us, and that's the first thing they tell me is I didn't know this business existed. So, it's been a journey. I started the business back in 2017, and I saw that there was a need in the market for people to have things cleaned, especially prior to COVID, which was a huge boom for us, every cleaning business, right? Originally coming from Florida, a place where a lot of people were grilling a lot of time. I saw that there was actually many different kinds of similar businesses out in Florida that did some kind of detailing business. And I just took it upon myself to get out of a really hard working environment that I was already in, working for somebody else, to try and do something for myself, work really hard for myself. And I detailed some pieces of grills in my balcony once, and I took that all the way out to somebody's backyard one day. I gave them, I said, hey, I'll do this. And they allowed me to do it. I got some results, some pictures, and I went around the city showing all, everybody word of mouth, and used some Google ratings and reviews. And sure enough, we're all the way here.
That is amazing. So how did you get to Charlotte from Miami?
When I was in Miami, I was still in high school. I'm 30 now, and I've been in business for, just about 7 years. Got here looking to go to school for architecture in Charlotte. And, I just drove up 2012. I drove up from Miami to Charlotte, and I was out here with some family for as long as I basically was in school for, which was maybe like 2 or 3 years before I ran into a business opportunity. And through that business opportunity, I started my business career. I had family that was already in business, and I was kind of taking notes all my life. So, but I'm a big artist, so I merged the creativity that I already had with the business aspect of everything that I was learning in my daily life.
Well, I'm sure it's rewarding when you spend time and you're cleaning a grill and it looks, cruddy, and then it's just sparkly, shiny new. I've seen the photos on your website. That is an artistry.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And one of the most satisfying things besides the results, which we try to always make, we're very transparent about our results. We're not like going to a fast food restaurant and you see the picture and then you get something else. We're very transparent about the results. We want to make sure that people know exactly what they're getting and why we get the results that we get. And one of the most satisfying things is our customers' reactions when they're like, wow, this is actually what it was in the picture. So
yeah, that makes it fun again. How long does it take, just on average? I know some are worse than others, but
right.
The time commitment.
Sure. So on average, we're looking at about 2 hours per grill. We do a very extensive detailing. We make sure that, we get up in there as far as we can in every corner that the grill can be cleaned in, and disinfected, sanitized, and basically render you 85 to 90% new grill, depending on the conditions it was already in, or the age of the grill itself and the size, of course. So just about 2 hours, but we do have a team of about 3 people. And 2 to 3 people, we come down, we decompartmentalize your grill, and then we detail each piece by piece, burners, everything down to the bottom, and remove all of the debris.
Oh, so you break it down.
Oh, yeah.
So when we flip our grill on high and then we scrub it with that little thing and maybe some 409 on the outside, that's not doing the job, I take it.
No, and that's actually one of the common misconceptions about um, getting us out to clean your grill, because some people, most people have never used a service like this before. And so they don't know what to expect. And they also will, every service will have a price. And you'll say, well, if I'm going to pay this price, what am I getting for it? And I don't have anything to reference because I don't know other people or have ever had this service done. So one of those things that is backed up by the time we spend in your backyard, it's that the service is an extensive detailing. We come out, if needed, we take the hood off of the lid off of the grill, depending on the kind of grill it is. They have different treatments, if it's stainless steel or if it's not stainless steel. And so we make sure that we're very mindful of everything that's going on with the grill, from the lowest quality to the highest quality grill. We've done our homework on all of them. So, yeah.
So have you ever got to someone's grill and go, this isn't cleanable?
Hey, in life, we definitely have to know when to say no and when you can't take something on. I think that's one of the biggest parts of success, is that you can't, there are certain things we just can't do or can't restore or renew or bring back. Some things are past the point of no return. And I've definitely done some magic. I've gone to grills that I was lucky enough to be invited to the Charlotte news station. I think it was WCBC Charlotte, and they had us clean their grill, and it was in poor conditions. And I questioned if I could do it, and thankfully, because of everything I'd learned and because of the times I turned down grills that I knew I couldn't do, I knew I could do, certain conditions of grills. So I encourage people to always call us and try first, because we're very transparent about, just receiving a simple picture and letting you know, hey, one thing we won't do is risk our reputation over trying to do something that we know for a fact will not render good results. So we let our customers know this is not going to render good results because of the conditions it's in. If you would have caught us maybe a year or two ago, we would be able to help you out. So yeah, definitely there's grills that cannot be fixed. I've got in there and I've seen animals in grills. You name it.
Oh my God.
I mean, this is a journey that I never expected would lead to so many different surprising places, from possums to mice to wasps and snakes, you name it.
Oh my God. Okay. You had me at, snake and possum. That's crazy. And I would guess the sanitizing of it is something we don't really even think of, because you do think when you turn it up high, you're burning off stuff. But clear that up. Right.
So when we talk about another misconception is about grills being cleaned at home, doing natural maintenance at home. You think, and most people think, that turning up the heat very high, because that kills bacteria, and because you're thinking you're going to get the surface super hot so that it's sanitized. There's truth to that, but however, that's a sustained period of too high of a grill running at the highest heat capacity will end up damaging the grill, will damage the parts. They'll get red hot. And that temperature change, that constant temperature change, especially for the guys and people that grill every single day, or use their grill outside more than they do indoor, they'll notice that the deterioration rate is way faster, especially if they're doing that high heat setting. I've used the analogy before that if you've got a brand new car and you're revving it every day at the highest heat setting, and you're just racing it with no professional maintenance, your grill or car or whatever it may be that you're running at the highest output will have a lower lifespan and will give you more problems quicker. So,
that's a great analogy for those of us who love marinades and all that goopy stuff. I'm sure that's a lot of fun.
It's crazy that you mentioned that, because that's our worst enemy out here in this industry. People that are being artistic chefs, if you will, just grabbing the paintbrush and just going to work with the sauce. And that stuff is, I mean, the food's delicious, and a lot of people think, well, all of this stuff that's building up in my grill is giving it flavor. So some people don't want to take the flavor out of the grill.
Oh.
There are times where, it will become dangerous, because now you have all this very flammable substance in different areas of your grill catching fire. And what's the point that you'll be able to know, well, I can't handle the flames inside of the grill anymore, and they're not even sustained by any controllable source. They're just random flames in my grill. Eventually, people will call us. One of the main calls I get is, I've got a grease fire. So many grease fires will happen because of no maintenance or improper cleaning, improper usage.
So for those of us that keep a water squirt bottle beside the grill, it sounds like my grill needs clean because it flames up.
Hey, Regina, I'm more than happy to give you a good look at the grill and let you know, hey, even if you're just looking for some information about what you can do at home, I'm looking to hopefully eventually make informational videos that show people how they can maintenance their stuff at home. And we're not looking to take anything from anybody, because there's so many people in the state that have grills that need help. I couldn't possibly get to everybody, so I have to get the information out there just to help myself before I get to your home.
That's amazing. And do you do repairs, like if you see something wrong?
Yeah, absolutely. So all of our services include a full functionality and safety inspection. This means that before we do any work on your grill, we make sure that your grill is working, fully functional. And if it's not, that we inform you of what's going on, so that, well, first we're covering ourselves. We're making sure that we're not touching your grill, and then we don't know if something was broken or not, and whether or not we broke it. So we make sure that, hey, this is not working and we didn't do it, but we can help you, and we can certainly fix it for you, let you know why it happened, what's going on, and what are the different avenues you can take to, kind of either work around it. There's always a way to work around it, or to repair it, because we can certainly, most of the time, repair just about any grill.
Do you carry parts with you so it can be done then and there?
So we do bring the part if we're notified prior, because there's so many different kinds of grills and different just variations of models. We don't carry all of the parts. We'll carry, just basic parts like igniters and different regulator hoses for propane grills, things like that. But otherwise, if it's a specialized or specific part to a grill, then it will have to go through certain manufacturers and different things like that.
Gotcha. So in this journey of becoming an entrepreneur, moving to a new town, did you experience any hardships?
Absolutely. As I mentioned before, I believe, like I mentioned before, that I was in a business prior to having my own business, and I saw that business get to it was an ice cream business, and it got really big, and then it failed due to internal components, things of just all from A to B. There's different components to businesses that you have to learn to run. You have to wear many hats. And I was many times discouraged because I didn't think I could take on all of the things that it was sending my way. The consistency, that was a hardship, just being consistent, waking up every single day to do something that I didn't know was going to work or not, especially not having a reference from too many other businesses out there at all. I guess it's a good thing. We don't really have many competitors, but we're also pioneering a market. So that's been a hardship. It's like I'm paving a whole brand new road in something that I found is a blank area in the business market. And that's a hardship in itself, but mainly just, failures that I've experienced. I've started off really well. Things have been going well. And then, you run into a block, and unfortunately that block will send you back to square one. Mm-hmm. And having the resilience and courage to continue to go back from step one and do it all over again, knowing what doesn't work and what does work.
And having to scale the business, I'm sure can be a challenge. You want to go big, but when now you're having to hire people, manage people, have them out in vehicles. And yeah, it's running the business side is way harder than just doing the job.
Yeah, I mean, when I started off, the first thing I ever did was I drew a logo, because you got to get it out there. It was just in my head, and I had practice at home, but nobody knew, or how was anybody ever going to know? So I drew a logo, and then I got that logo online, and eventually doing advertisement, but that was all myself. And then I encountered employees, and I now know that that is actually the most difficult aspect of any business known to man, is running employees, having employees, retaining employees. So that's actually, a really good one. It's been a huge hardship is to manage employees and manage paying employees. And,
and find good ones that will stick around.
Mainly find ones that are worth keeping around and that will carry the reputation that I built so hard by myself. It took a long time.
Right. Well, that's amazing. You're a fine man, I can tell. So when you're not running your business, what do you do for fun?
Thank you. So I'm probably the most athletic business person I know. I'm 30 years old. I've been doing extreme sports since I was 7 years old. And so I like to snowboard a lot. I love snowboarding. It's my number one sport right now. I'm involved in different competitions and all kinds of stuff. I started off in martial arts when I was really young, and due to that, I wanted to become a stuntman. So I engage in everywhere from street gymnastics to rock climbing. And Charlotte, North Carolina is a perfect place for me to have ended up from Miami because of all the mountain ranges around me. So I spend a lot of time in the mountains. I rock climb a lot. And all of these things kind of piggyback off each other and help me be a better snowboarder. It just makes me a stronger snowboarder.
Okay, how does a kid from Miami learn to snowboard? How did that come to be? Like, where did you go?
That's one of the things I want to take on in my life for as long as my body lets me, is that I was born in Cuba. I was born in La Habana, Cuba, and I was raised in Miami. And obviously, neither of those two places have snow or extensive mountain ranges or elevation of any sort, right? And so I never thought I would ever even see snow. My first time seeing snow was in Charlotte, and I saw like maybe half a foot of it, and I thought I could jump off the roof, But when I got here and I started experiencing the culture and the seasons, and I had one experience in Colorado with a snowboard, and I love challenge. I think that if you don't like challenge, you can't be a businessman or woman or you gotta like challenge. You gotta invite challenge, and I invite challenge into my life. And snowboarding has been one of the most rewarding, challenging things that I've ever done. And through that, I fell in love with it, and I want to be the first Cuban snowboarder that came from Miami.
You might achieve that if you haven't already. Yeah.
Thank you.
And who do you do stunts for?
I didn't carry it on professionally for very long because I started doing business and other things. I just was involved in so much. I still aspire to be a part of some of that. My significant other is she's in movies, and she's always trying to get me to do things of that nature. But I did stunts for MTV Europe and a commercial. And that was out in Miami Shores in Florida. I got to do, just some simple, cool stuff as an extra. And then I did some extra work for independent films for, guys in Miami that did things like The Burn Notice and things like that. So.
Oh my God, you're my first stunt person I've ever met. I love it. That is so original. And so is your business model. Like you said, you're doing something that people don't even know it exists. So it's exciting to get this word out for you and to see and watch you grow. You're in Charlotte. How far do you go to clean grills? What is your, territory?
because of my extracurriculars and my I am the heart of my business, so I kind of like propel it anywhere that I go. And I've been as far as Boone, North Carolina, and I've worked in the mountain ranges out there because I've made home in the mountains, and I've made in these areas. And so I'll take it as far as Boone and Raleigh if the jobs are, if the jobs kind of make sense and I can find the right timing for them. Some people have an extreme need for something that's just very costly, and because I can provide a fair price point, even making a travel time out will work out for them, just to help people out, and it's a mutual relationship. So I'll go as far, realistically, the furthest we go on a daily is probably about an hour or two past Charlotte in any direction. And we also do go into South Carolina. So I have been as far as Clover, South Carolina as well.
Okay, gotcha. So the true Charlotte metro large area.
Right.
Well, very, very cool. So how do our listeners reach you, Ernesto, if they want your services?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one of the main ways to find us and find a lot of our information and customer reviews is on Google. So if you just Google Queen City Grill Cleaning, we should be the first thing that pops up. And you'll see all of our customers' testimonies. You'll see a link to our website, which is queencitygrillcleaning.com. And then you can also find us on Instagram, which is also an original handle, Queen City Grill Cleaning. And then our phone number, which will be working basically all the time, 24/7, is 980-245-0265, and that is a direct line to me or any of my assistants.
Well, I love what you do and how you are able to balance the fun of life, the stuff that, I can tell sparks your spirit, but yet figure out a way to start a business and grow it. Very, very well. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Regina. And I'm so happy to have been a part of this. And thank you for, just kind of reaching out or inviting us. I didn't know what to expect, but it's been a great experience.
Me too. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You as well. Have a wonderful.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpsouthcharlotte.com. That's gnpsouthcharlotte.com or call 980-351-5719.